What's the next thing then?
Yeah, we don't have to go through this. Yes, I want to.
When's the second date then?
After this shit.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay, right. We've done all of this, but we need a save here because we'll have to come back here at some point to get the good ending.
Mm-hmm.
But for the moment, right. What should we do?
I don't know, we've done it all before, we could just get the scene and skip it.
Yeah, because we can't just... Let's visit the grocery store. Ba, 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 ba.
Leave!
Ba, 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 ba. And then get some well-deserved rest.
Yes!
Yes! As you wish.
Ah!
Hello! I had some time to work through the stuff you told me, and now would be the perfect time to get some pictures of you. If you're not busy with anything else, it'd be great if you could come over sometime. So, see you soon? Maybe.
Do it.
Do it. Fucking. Wait, what? Status.
Yay.
Wow, he's already impressed.
That's good.
Not like good. Impressed.
He's only got 2 dates.
Does he?
Yeah.
He only has 2 scenes.
Yeah.
He really is filler.
Yeah. There's first date and second date, so we could probably have done this any time. But...
Christ. Or there's just nothing significant about his next 2.
No,
Anyways.
no, there's only 2, I think.
Okay. Meet with Lorum. Yep, it is that apartment.
Mhm.
There you are! Come in!
Sure. Why
My
are you
ears, they
blushing?
bleed.
Honestly, I can't believe you agreed to do this again.
Oh shit. My pleasure, darling.
Now that I've had a chance to work through everything from last time, we can do some real work.
Sounds great.
I did a staggering amount of research on mythical humans. Here, let me show you some of the stuff I found.
Sure. We sat down at the coffee table. Lorum opened up a laptop and started to type away. Seeing the laptop brought back memories. I have one on my lap right now. In our world, they had become obsolete a long time ago.
Before I show you these images, I should probably tell you some of them are really weird. Just don't take them the wrong way.
You already told me about the 4-headed human, so I think I can handle this.
All right.
Oh, God! Oh, okay.
Snake Man.
He
It looks friendly.
He looks attractive.
What was that cackle? You sounded like a witch.
Oh.
That fucking laugh!
He looks attractive. I mean, I guess we've been fucking dragons here and right, so I guess it would be to this guy.
Yeah.
He looks friendly. He does. Well, to be fair, that doesn't look very human to. What does it say? Does it say anything?
He looks friendly.
Okay.
This one is supposed to be one of our ancestors.
Ancestors? Well, it does remind me of some of the dragons I've seen here, but I'm not sure what humans have to do with this.
You remember the myth about our creator turning into a dragon, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting question. What species did that human turn into? There are a number of dragon species nowadays that aren't genetically compatible with each other. Did the human choose one of them? Did they perhaps procreate? I want to know. A shared ancestor is
science!
one option. This would mean that a different species split after humans' involvement in our creation. If human DNA was involved in some way, this might explain how our different species came to be. Take a far ancestor of ours and apply various amounts of human DNA. The result would be a number of different species, each with a different amount of resemblance to humans.
Interesting.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Now, it has been said that an upright stance and being able to walk on two legs is a more human trait.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most.
Right.
All.
Right. Right.
In any case, it's one of the things that makes humans unique. As a result, some people believe that certain species share more traits with humans than others.
Why'd you do that tongue thing?
What tongue thing?
The blah, 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 blah.
His tongue does look like it's sticking out a bit.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I think it makes them more noble or something. Luckily, this doesn't happen often.
You can walk on two legs well, right?
You're on them right now.
Sure, in this theory of shared human DNA, this puts me somewhere in the middle, since I still have wings and horns.
I can see that. No, seriously, I can see that.
Here, look at this one.
It's the spaghetti monster!
Oh,
His laptop's fan is almost as loud as mine. I wouldn't want to live in the same town as this fellow.
no. Little horns.
Since we don't know what the original human looked like, we can't exactly define which traits separate us from them. As a result, our interpretations of humans can vary wildly.
I'm not sure he's a particularly friendly one, though.
Actually, I think this is supposed to be a human female.
Interesting.
There's some that don't think humans are friendly at all, though.
Really? So far I've only heard positive things about us.
Some interpretations of our myths don't exactly paint you in the best light. There are also people who oppose the idea of human worship and what involvement is meant for us.
In what way?
They say the human interference was unnatural, but we need to get back our roots.
And how do they think they can do that?
Apparently, it means refusing to use modern technology and living in caves or the wilderness again.
Like an animal.
Pretty much. Most of us think those people are crazy, though.
They sound like a pop, sure.
Aren't hurting anyone.
As long as they aren't hurting anyone.
Yeah.
They're harmless, really. Or except for that one fuck who blew himself up. I think he was from Dices.
They worship dice.
Dollar Akbar! Controversial commentary.
Yay.
You probably won't see one of them around here anyway. We killed them.
That is an interesting style, though. Do you know how these pictures were made?
No. I'm sure that information was provided when I looked them up in the library, but I didn't copy all of that.
And you're using these as references?
I make do with what I can get. Maybe now you can see why I wanted your help, though.
Alright, what do you need me to do?
I just want to make some quick sketches. You can stand over there by the wall.
Okay, I can certainly do that. I walked up to the spot he indicated. When I took my place, I saw that he had laid out a number of pens, paper, and other art supplies on the table. Oh, this is going to take a while, isn't it?
I'll try to be quick about it. Probably take about 2 days. You can go without food for 2 days, right?
Do you want me to strike a pose or something? Yeah. Oh. 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 Just get progressively sexier.
Sexy.
A T-pose should be good to get started.
How does
What's
he know what a
that?
T-pose is?
How do you not know what a T-pose is, you fuck?
Yeah, but how does he know? How would they pose the same? They have wings and shit. I doubt they have mocap and stuff. What?
Just point your arms sideways so you look like a giant T with a head.
Oh, I get it. Raising my arms to the sides, I wondered how long this would take. Oh shit, Georgie, I can't type now.
Oh no!
Shit.
Is it that one? Oh.
You fucking dunce.
Great! Now try to stay as still as possible.
Can I still talk?
Sure, as long as you don't talk with your arms.
Ba 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 ba. I can only say ba. As I wasn't allowed to move my head, I stared at Lowram sketching my figure. This went on for a few minutes, until I suddenly heard the sound of a door opening.
Someone it looks like, I swear!
Oh, it's this fuck again.
Who
You voiced this guy!
What was his voice?
I don't know.
Oh, shit! I don't know! Did I try Japanese because of the whiskers? I don't want to do Japanese.
I don't think you did.
Maybe I did French. So I do French anyway.
No, you did French for someone else, I think.
Oh.
I think it was just something nerdy.
I've already done nerdy.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember.
You'll have to have a new voice then.
Okay. Give him a new voice.
Maybe you should do it.
No! Fuck you! I'm already doing all of them!
I know, it was
For
quite...
once.
Yeah, for
You
once.
can put in some effort, you bitch. Lazy cunt.
I can't...
Now who's struggling now?
Can't do Aussie either. Great.
You did that for the college dude.
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna go Russian. Hey, Lorem! That's Scottish. Shit! Okay, carry on. Alright, the human was going to visit today. Totally forgot about that. You don't mind if I take a seat, right? That doesn't sound Russian. I'll go anyway!
You just want to study horny.
Like you aren't doing that right now. Besides, this room is much as mine as it is yours. I'll just watch and be quiet.
I thought you had experiments to run.
And they are running. I'd rather not be confined to my tiny room for the next 2 hours, staring at ceiling and waiting for them to finish.
But no experiments on horny.
Yes, I just sit here, maybe take a few notes.
About his dick.
About dick sizes.
I'm sorry, horny. This is my roommate and longtime best friend, Ipsum.
Nice to meet you, Epsom.
His scientific bluntness may be off-putting, so please bear with him.
Speak for yourself.
So much for those two being best friends. Logan returned to his drawing, the silence only being interrupted by the strokes of his pen.
Something interesting happened at work today.
Did we finally figure out it was you who was playing all those pranks?
No, they'll never catch me. Hui. I was talking with a colleague about the humans here, and I offhandedly mentioned that Horny was going to come over.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
Some hours later, Anna barges in my office and says Horny is off limits to
shit.
anyone besides her, as far as tests and experiments are concerned.
Fucking hell. Even when we haven't dated her at all in this scenario,
Bitch, he's
she's
mine!
still fucking possessive over us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not taking any samples. I can only be blamed for just looking at Horny.
She just plucks his eyes out.
They're mine now. Yes, but that makes me wonder. Horny, did you agree to visit her and undergo her rigorous testing regime? Regime.
Well, we didn't in this timeline. But we did in others?
Not really?
Not really.
Evidently, she thinks otherwise. Oh, and Lorem, have you seen my Ixoman sphere recently?
Didn't you take it when we went to the park the other day?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's the last time I saw it.
I must have lost it then. I already searched the whole apartment.
Did you go into my room?
No,
No.
he did not.
No.
He hates that room. It smells of Cheez-Its.
Not cheese nips?
Fight!
Maybe someone found it.
I had it registered in my name when I got it, so if anyone found it, it should show up sooner or later.
Oh no, Georgie.
What?
The kitty's beak.
She's sleeping! Head
No,
down!
she's not sleeping. She's lying to you. I saw her raise it. Oh, yes, there we go. She shifted about like the fucking sneak.
She's sleeping!
What is an Ixoman sphere anyway?
It's just a glorified toy for grown-ups, really.
You have no idea what you're talking about. An Ixoman sphere is a very sophisticated tool with countless number of uses.
Like what?
Butt plug, dildo, both at the same time. It is very good.
Butt
It
plug?
can levitate and follow you around, take photos. It is iPhone. You can even use it as calculator. It's an iPhone. It's an iPhone.
Making it a glorified toy for grown-ups.
I use it for my experiments. On
Well,
my
if I
butt.
could take photos, I wouldn't need to stand around like this. That is, if we had it here now.
It is a great companion for all situations in life. It's a fucking iPhone. I hate phones.
It's much easier to draw from a live model than from a photo, though.
Easier for you, maybe. I hope this doesn't take much longer because my arms went numb a while ago. Oh, there goes my right one. They just fell off. I'll have to regrow it back in a year.
Whoop.
Just start with a little baby arm like in Deadpool.
Yeah. I want to see how big it feels in this hand. Get the unicorn.
Yeah, I think you can relax for now. I'm nearly done with this one.
A tingling sensation went up my arms as I relaxed. I realized they had grown in several feet. Slowly, I began to regain feeling in them.
All right, now turn around. I want to sketch that butt.
I thought we were done already.
Not unless we want our humans to like a backside.
So that is what this is all about.
Ugh, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Isn't it my turn to draw you now?
Uh,
Oh no, Georgie received text.
I got text message of picture of doggy.
Is
Let
he
me-
sleep?
Let me see. Oh yeah, she sleeps.
Good.
He sleep.
Good, he will not interrupt.
Yes. He's
That's not how it works.
I wouldn't mind getting a portrait of myself. I can already see it. A light shining from above, caressing my luscious mane. I'm turning French. I letting each look.
I'm beginning
as
to
they-
think
at the
that
play.
would be more befitting. Considering this guy seems to be a narcissist.
That's a bit mean to French people.
Oi, 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 we British.
Alright, should I
We
change
British!
I'll change him to French.
What, for the third time his voice shall be changed?
Yes.
This is gonna be a long day.
Warning, my French is awful.
That depends on how fast you are. As I was now facing the wall, I couldn't see what Lorem and Ipsum were doing until they prodded my butt. After a few seconds of silence, I heard some whispering coming from the couch. What are you talking about?
Oh, now I have to remember French. Oh, I can't remember French.
Then just stick with Russian.
I didn't want to be rude, but I was just concerned about your vestments.
Georgie. Look at that word again.
Curious about your
You fuckwit!
I didn't even realise I read it wrong. I forgot what word I used.
You. Now I have!
Carry on.
No, it was concerned. You said concerned.
Oh, okay, my bad.
He said, and I quote, "This would be more interesting if it wasn't for those clothes Horny is wearing."
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Middle.
Yeah. I'm just saying it would be hard to study an insect if there was a piece of cloth draped over it, wearing as that much. This seems odd to me.
If humans wear clothes like this, it's only appropriate to depict them as such.
And my scientific curiosity shall remain unsatisfied.
Yeah, that's for Anna alone. Only she knows how it's like to fuck a human.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Adine. And Bryce.
And Remy.
No, we didn't fuck Remy. We
Shit!
only kissed him.
That was stupid.
Yep. Oh god, imagine if he'd had lipstick on.
Ah!
Because Horny is not here to do that, and you would get in big trouble with Anna.
She doesn't need to know.
We actually have a pretty big variety of vestments. I could tell you about it. All bring in my lingerie.
Sounds good, but not right now. I have to finish this up first.
I can't see it anymore.
Plug it back in, Georgie.
There we go.
Alright. So, Ipsum. I've heard a lot about experiments in science now, but what do you actually do?
I work in the facility as a biologist with a minor in physics. In addition to the office, I also have. We're spending so much time on filler. 2 hours nearly.
As I said, I personally think that, like, Sebastian would have been the better fifth option.
Yeah.
Considering he's already a fully fleshed out character.
Mm.
And has a first scene already.
Yeah.
Where he sleeps with us.
Well, possibly.
But I mean, okay, I guess you had to put in filler. I don't know. Just, it seems odd.
I'll carry on. I also have my own setup here at home. I assure you it's properly isolated from the rest of the apartment. It even has a fume hood to prevent accidents. But I only use it for smallest of experiments. Usually things unrelated to my job.
Like penis tests.
Yes. Sounds interesting.
Don't get him started or we won't hear the end of it.
Uh-oh. Maybe you would like to talk about your hobby instead, Lauren.
Isn't this already a hobby?
I guess you could say so.
I was talking about his other hobby, though.
Pornography magazines.
Oh, that. I don't know, it's a little embarrassing to be honest.
Yeah, it's pornography. There's no need to be embarrassed about your hobbies.
He likes flowers. Once he even made a crown out of daisies, cutest thing in the world.
Don't listen to him. He usually only tells half the story.
What's the other half then?
I have an extensive love for botany.
Don't you mean bootany? No, okay. That was terrible.
Yep.
The fern he keeps in his room must be the happiest plant alive.
I find gardening to be very relaxing, especially when the birds are singing in the morning. It's so nice to go out there with a cup of nice tea and work in the garden of our apartment building. Which reminds me, Ipsum has quite an extensive tea collection, for I'm not sure if he prefers to hoard tea or gadgets. It's a mystery.
I heard there was going to be a model of the Ixaman sphere that can actually make tea. That's going to be a must-buy.
Can it also make cups? We're supposed to sip it out of the sphere itself.
Don't be silly.
You two sound just like an old couple.
Couple? Us?
Shit, Georgie. Shit!
What?
It's mirroring us!
Ah, no!
Fuck!
Fuck! Now people are gonna get the wrong idea anyway. Not really. Wait, who's who?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I guess you're Lauren because you're shrill.
Yeah. I'm very sensitive about that. I am actually.
And I'm secretly Russian.
Yes, you are secretly.
I'm Russian spy come to infiltrate British.
Yes.
Yes, FBI now onto me. I can never publish video.
You can't even do the accent.
I've not tried to.
Well, I can't do it either, to be fair. I do stereotypical.
We've known each other for a long time, though, if that counts.
I think it does. By the way, Ipsum, you're not from here, right?
I don't know what you mean. What is that supposed to mean?
You're Russian. Well, you look like nothing like any other dragon I've seen so far. I suppose that's true for Lorum as well. You're both pretty small. But you, Ipsum, also have hair. That's certainly new.
It is not unusual as you might think. But you're right, there are many of us in these parts.
I imagine being smaller than the rest of the population would come with its own challenges.
It's not that big of a deal. If something is unreachable for me, I can fly.
This apartment was actually intended to house one dragon of a bigger size. That not only makes it fairly cheap, but it's also big enough for both of us.
There's one thing I've been wondering. How do you even sit in one of those chairs? Wouldn't the backrest cause problems with your tails?
I see what you mean. For me, it's never been a problem, because most chairs are bigger than I am.
It's just a question of getting into the right position. However, this must be different for those of us who mostly walk on 4 legs, but they usually don't use chairs like these at all.
I've seen a few, though. I've seen a few try, though.
I suppose they want to imitate humans this way. Even if they can't stand or walk like a human, they can try to sit like one.
With varying results. Some I've seen looked really funny trying to fit in chairs they're too big for, or sit in odd ways that clearly don't work with their anatomy.
I see. Lorum, you asked me about breath weapons last time, but I don't think you ever told me if you had one.
Probably because it isn't worth mentioning.
May only be a very small flame, but it can get very hot.
What about you, Ipsum?
Yes, Ipsum. What about you?
My breath weapon is elocution, since words are more powerful than anything else. Same as mine, then.
Alright, I'm done with this one. You can turn around.
So much fun. Staring at the wall was so much fun.
Let's make one more. Maybe something dynamic.
How dynamic are we talking about?
Something that isn't static like the reference models I just did.
Models? You just drew
You
pictures.
can strike a pose. Something that's just you.
Alright. What kind of pose should I go for?
None of these work. Swimwear?
Does it tell us to do anything?
No.
Ah, swimwear it is. Draw me like one of your...
My what?
Forget what I just said.
Yes!
Sure.
By the way, did you get the groceries from when you came home from work?
Yes, just as usual.
Are you too sure you're not in a relationship?
I certainly am.
Actually, Ipsum is deeply in love with his home laboratory.
Oh, really?
No! I'm not even going to deny that. But when I'm not working on something at the office, I do so here.
What are you currently working on?
I've been looking into the physics of teleportation.
You're talking about the portal, right?
Well, I don't have permission to even approach the portal, so I have to resort to theoretical discussions on its mechanics and make do with what I can pull off in my home laboratory.
God, Ipsum, you're boring.
Yes.
Maybe I could tell you a few things.
I got a yawn there. That won't be necessary. I have already read all the available test reports.
Okay.
Are you aware of using the portal could be incredibly dangerous?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Then you don't have a complete understanding of what the portal actually does and what it means for our world at large. In order for the portal to function, a natural wormhole is required. It is trapped and becomes a portal's entry. I'm turning French. The portal manipulates the wormhole's exit. This way, something can be sent to whichever destination is chosen. Now, there is a theory about the purpose of the natural wormholes in the universe. It states that they act as the support pillars of the space-time continuum.
Oh, so?
I feel like the writer was just throwing sci-fi words together. How should I explain this?
I think the video game analogy worked pretty well.
Sure, in a video game, what happens when you meet the edge of a map?
You hit a wall.
That happens in some games, but in others...
You reappear on the other side.
Right.
He's got friends on the other side.
Still haven't seen that.
Come on. I mean, it's not the best Disney movie, but it's better than some of the more recent stuff.
Yeah. You know what I can't get over is on some of the drawings, there's some lines around the outlines that are white, or something as if they were inking them and then went over a bit, so it gone under. That's bugging me. Anyway, how does this happen? If our world was a perfect sphere, someone could just keep flying in the same direction and eventually they would end up at their starting point again.
But the planet is a perfect sphere. Well, it's not a perfect sphere, but it's a sphere.
Yeah.
Is he a flat earther?
Oh my god.
Sure.
This is the result of physics. In the abstraction of a video game, however, it doesn't work like that. They don't try to replicate a spherical world, they use a 2D plane instead.
This is getting confusing.
Yeah. 2 hours! Imagine a piece of paper with a world map printed on it.
Right.
Well, it shows the end... I know this piece. I know this. Okay, it shows the entirety of the world. It's just a simple flat piece of paper rather than a sphere, right?
Sure.
Let us assume that in a game, our world map looks like that. Now, what happens if we approach the edge and walk over it? Is that where we teleport to the opposite side?
Okay.
This doesn't actually make the game world a sphere, but rather a torus. Like Animal Crossing.
Taurus?
You know, like a donut. I could go for one.
If that is the comparison you want to make.
Okay.
Now, things are going to get really complicated. Are you familiar with the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics?
Let's say I'm not. I am!
It states that every single time a choice is made by any actor that possesses free will, the universe splits into different branches. Yep. This means that for every choice you have made, there exists a branch of universes where you made a different decision.
I see.
Now, we can't communicate with these other branches in any way. You don't know what would happen if you made a different decision just this morning. You could make an educated guess, but the only person who truly knows what would happen is the alternate you, who has made that decision and is living its consequences. That is, unless we could communicate with those other branches. However, there is a barrier that prevents us from doing that. This barrier is made up of wormholes.
How does that work?
It is very similar to the torus world model that is used in games. As we approach the edge of our own world, the barrier causes us to end up on the other side instead.
Does this mean we get teleported to the other side like in video games?
Not necessarily. It would be just as correct to assume that our universe is shaped like a torus. I don't know what this accent is now.
So which is it then? Do we get teleported or not?
That depends on how you look at the wormhole's function. Imagine this sheet of paper is the entirety of our world.
He took a sheet of paper from Lorum's stack and showed it to me, marking a spot near the edge with a pen.
And this is where you live. Unfortunately, your workplace is here on the other side.
He drew an X to the right edge of the paper.
If the world was flat, this would be very unfortunate. However, if the world was a torus, the left and right edges would be connected. You could take a shorter route to work by going over the edge. Now, let's say this is only possible because wormholes connect these two edges together. If you happen to be right at the very edge and look beyond, everything would look perfectly fine to you. Given that these wormholes stay in their place, you would never know that the world is actually flat, and that you can only travel to the other side because of wormholes because the wormholes connect the edges. You would think that the world is a torus.
Right.
However, what if the wormholes didn't actually bring you to the other side by teleporting you, but instead just bend the paper into a torus shape and hold the edges together? These wormholes failed or were displaced, the paper would unfold, throwing the world into disarray. That's what the wormholes in the barrier actually do. They are what hold everything together.
So they're really more like glue.
This is starting to give me a headache. If it wasn't for them, the overall construct would collapse in on itself.
What construct?
The entirety of space-time. Now, if these theories are true, that would mean using a portal damages the barrier. Each time the portal is activated, the wormhole used for the teleportation is displaced, leaving a small gap where it used to be. Do this too often, the overall system will destabilize eventually. Do you think that's one of the endings?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Theoretics.
Alright, maybe you shouldn't talk about your theories about how the world is going to end.
Sorry, I nearly sounded normal for a moment.
Yeah, that was weird.
Nothing is going to happen because the portal was used a few times. I just hope humanity is aware of its implications.
Maybe we can collaborate.
I certainly hope so.
Your researchers seem to know what they're doing.
I just wish I could be part of it. With everything that's going on, the future looks incredibly exciting.
What do you think is going to happen, Ipsum?
Now you'll get him started. Don't say I didn't warn you.
No! Ugh! And the knowledge contained... This is really filler.
Yup.
It's boring me.
Just keep going.
The knowledge
We'll finish
contained
after
with your
this.
PDAs could propel innovation forward by unseen length.
Meaning a lot more experiments for you to do.
Which would be terribly exciting.
Personally, I'm more interested in the social implications.
What do you mean?
I don't expect it to just be a back and forth from ambassadors forever.
Talking about colonies?
Oh, fuck. Oh, I bet Lorum would jump at the opportunity to live in the human world.
I'm not sure if that would be a good idea.
Why not?
Obviously, such an endeavor would need a lot of preparation. We would need to learn about their culture and adjust appropriately. I'd expect we'd send an ambassador over there long before that will happen, though. We hardly know anything about their world.
Everything's still up in the air as far as diplomatic relations go. We've no idea what the situation could be like in just a week.
Yes, and it's also incredibly exciting.
Don't get too excited, though, or else you're going to ruin your drawing.
It's almost done anyway. Here, what do you think?
Lorum leaned over, holding another paper to Ipsum. Ipsum looked at the paper closely, his gaze shifting back and forth between me and the paper several times. After a few seconds, he seemed to be finished with his evaluation.
As a scientist, my professional opinion is that this part looks a little long.
Really? He pointed his sharp claw at a part of the paper Logan was holding.
You sure? Let me see.
If I wasn't sure, I wouldn't have said it.
I think you're right.
That I am.
Logan reached for his eraser, purging a few lines from the paper before he switched to his pen again.
And it's done.
I see. What would you ever do without me?
I don't think I'd hear as many explosions in the middle of the night.
You were happy about it when you forgot to set your alarm that one time.
Suddenly, the sound of an alarm resounded throughout the room.
Oh, my experiment is done. Zip.
And there he goes. Charming fellow, isn't he?
He sounds fun.
He certainly keeps things interesting around here, and he's a good art critic.
I can imagine.
Anyway, looks like we're done here.
Yay!
Poof.
My
He's good
God.
being able to move again.
Would you like to stay for dinner? Be the least I can do to compensate for your lost afternoon.
Oh, let me see. What time is it? Oh, it's getting late and I probably shouldn't stay out this long. Looks like I'll have to decline for now.
I see, but I gotta do something for you at least.
It was my pleasure. Minus having to stay still the whole time. This was actually quite fun.
How about I invite you again then?
Sure, works for me.
I'll think of something special.
Just give me a call and we'll figure out the rest.
Sure, bye!
Bye! Now get out of my fucking face! Ah! It's over!
Okay, well,
Oh, fuck.
save in progress. Okay,
Now,
that's all we're gonna do for now.
yes.
I don't know when we'll be able to record more,
No.
because not today.
Well,
certainly.
let's see. The bad ending, we don't have to do anything more until chapter 4.
And the good ending, we just have to find some shit.
Mm.
So it won't take long. We'll probably record it over at my place, considering things.
Well, if I
But
can
we'll
get
have
over,
to see.
I might not be able to come over for a long time.
But for now,
That's-
ta-ta.
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 Titties.
Fuck you.
No.